Karen's sisters cut power to the senior center, so I fired up the generator I keep just for this. Yeah, you read that right. These two HOA tyrants thought pulling the plug on a building full of 80-year-olds would teach me a lesson. What kind of monster does that? The storm had barely passed. Wind still whispered through the trees, shingles were scattered like poker chips, and our little neighborhood in Arizona looked like it had survived a bar fight. But inside the senior center, candles were flickering, oxygen tanks were running low, and half the residents were huddled together under blankets like it was a damn survival movie. I'd been volunteering there since my mom passed. That building? It's more than walls and windows, it's her legacy. And the Karen sisters? Lacey and Dana, well, they've been trying to shut us down for months. Something about the eyesore of mobility scooters parked out front and increased noise from group bingo. Noise? They're allergic to joy. 3 weeks ago, they came storming into a community meeting with a binder full of complaints. Of course, half of it was forged. I knew Mr. McCarty hadn't written that letter. The man has tremors so bad he can't hold a pen. They even claimed we were illegally using HOA land. That's when the word lawsuit started flying around. But they didn't want to go the legal route, not yet. Instead, they snuck around. Made calls. Talked to the utility board. And then, the blackout. It wasn't an accident. The whole block had power except us. I checked the grid. I even asked one of the linemen. He scratched his beard and said, "Strange. Someone filed an emergency disconnect on your center last night, said it was flooding. But the form was weird." You don't say. That's when my blood ran cold. Forged. They forged a damn disaster form to shut down a building that housed people on dialysis. I stared at the flickering lights. One of the ladies, Miss Evelyn, whispered, "Is it happening again?" and my chest just collapsed. But see, I come prepared. After the second time Karen tried to test our sprinkler system and ended up flooding the art room, I bought a generator. A big, purring, 8,000-watt beast sitting quietly in my garage. 10 minutes later, I was wheeling that glorious machine down the sidewalk like a marching band leader with a purpose. Extension cords over my shoulder, flashlight in my teeth. The second I fired it up, roarer lights blinked on inside the center like hope itself had come back online. A few of the ladies actually clapped. I saw Mr. Daniels wipe a tear from his face and mutter, "Now that's what I call American grit." But the Karens? Oh, they weren't done. Not 2 hours later, Lacey stormed over in her neon pink windbreaker, screeching about unauthorized equipment on HOA grounds. I told her I had the permits and I did. She snatched at the paperwork, then Dana came running behind with her phone out, filming me like I was the criminal here. "You're going to regret this." Dana spat. "You're in violation of ordinance. You filed a fake flood report to shut off power to a medical center," I snapped back. "How about you prepare for court?" I'll never forget the moment her smirk faded. Because guess what? I already reported them. I handed over the forged documents to the city. And one of the board members, his dad lives in the senior center. Yeah, turns out fraud against a vulnerable facility carries some serious weight. Within days, city inspectors showed up. Their HOA got flagged for misuse of power and oh, the sweet irony, their homes got put under review for zoning violations. Turns out those Karens had built an illegal deck and wired their backyard hot tub straight into a streetlight power box. Oh yes. Fraud, anyone? I didn't have to say a word. Karma showed up in steel-toed boots. And the cherry on top. Their HOA insurance dropped them. Said they were a liability risk. Now their dues tripled, and I heard Dana had to sell her third car. Meanwhile, our senior center. We got a donation from the city and a grant for emergency upgrades. So go ahead and try me again, ladies. I keep the generator fueled, the cameras rolling and the paperwork airtight. You can't bully a community of grandmas and grandpas and expect no one to fight back. Sometimes the loudest voice in the room is the quiet hum of justice from a humming engine in the dark. Subscribe to the channel if you love seeing karma spin like a turbine.